For the longest period of time, I was stuck making under $15,000 a month with my Faceless YouTube channel. I was burning myself out doing everything manually and I couldn't break past that 15,000 ceiling. I didn't know at all what I was doing wrong, but after a few months, I realized that working harder isn't actually going to make me rich. I need to hire quality people and build a scalable system that runs without me being the main bottleneck in the business. After that, it was like magic because the very next month, I hit my highest month of $118,000 in a single month with Faceless YouTube videos. So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys exactly how I hire and train my teams. So that way you can copy this system and you can scale it and run your own channels past $10,000, $20,000, or even $50,000 a month if you really wanted to. And I'm not just randomly yapping. This is the exact system that not only I use, but dozens of my students use as well. And one of them, whose name is Priti, ended up making $50,000 in a single month with Faceless YouTube content. So yeah, it actually works. And before we actually fully get into the video, it's very important that you take notes and you fully pay attention to this, because the biggest difference that I've seen from students that join and have a slower start and a slower growth to monetization versus the students that actually take off right away and make a bunch of money super fast in the long term, the only difference between those two types of students is people take notes and the actual action takers that implement things that I teach them right away. They pay attention and they actually act on it. So make sure you do the same. So I'm going to do a breakdown at different revenue levels. Here is what your team should look like. And we're going to be going from step 1, step 2, and step 3. So no matter where you are in your YouTube journey, whether you're just starting off or you're looking to scale your existing channel, this video is going to be valuable for you. So step number 1, if your channel's around $3,000 to $10,000 a month, you're probably running everything yourself. And I'm not just guessing, I'm saying you're probably doing it because this is the exact same spot that I was in when I made these steps. So this is all personalized on my experience. Instead, what you need to be doing, instead of running as a lone soldier, you need to be hiring people that buys back your time. And that way, a key word that I love to use is leverage. Leveraging your time and leveraging what you're actually good at in YouTube automation is by far the best thing that I've ever done. So you want to make sure that you're not doing all the grunt work like editing, thumbnails, scripting, all that stuff that doesn't require you personally to do the work. Then you can just outsource and hire somebody, and it would save you a bunch of time and overall just make more money, because when you outsource and you have teams, you're able to increase your output. You're able to go from 2 videos a week to 4 videos just like that. If you're already making $3,000 to $10,000 a month, really the next goal would be $10,000 to $20,000 a month, but not even just making that money. It's doing it consistently and predictably, right? You don't want to make $10,000 a month and the very next month you go to 5K, and then the next month it goes back to 7. You want to be in a range and have consistent, predictable income, because that's quite literally the only way you're able to have this as a full-time thing. So if you're stuck in the revenue level of anywhere between $3,000 to $10,000 a month, you need to start looking at different job hiring platforms. For example, I have onlinejobs.ph, where I have a ton of different job posts, and I've used this all throughout the years. Now, the thing with online jobs for beginners, you have to pay to use it. It's around $60 initially, or $60 per month to actually message and talk to the freelancers. So that's why I always usually just recommend Upwork for starting out. You can see I have tons of different job posts, and just hiring and outsourcing and leveraging your time and being able to actually put your money and invest it in your channel. This is going to be the biggest thing and the biggest change that you can do. And when I did this recently with one of my students named Jordi, he went from making $4,000 a month to the very next month $11,300. So literally this method, or just outsourcing and giving your work that you don't need to do to freelancers that are already good at it and spent 5-10 years doing it, it's literally a no-brainer, and it's the first thing you need to do if you're in this revenue range. Now, if you're at $10,000 to $20,000 a month, this is where YouTube gets fun for me, because now you're making a lot more money, and this is a 6-figure a year business, and you have a lot more capital to spend. So you're probably thinking of, okay, well, if I'm sitting anywhere from 10 to 20, how do I get to 50K a month? How do I get to $100,000 a month, right? And that's the same thing that I was thinking when I was here. So right now you want to start looking at splitting combined roles and actually moving intentional and intentionally hiring people in specific fields where they're the professional and they fully understand what they're doing. For example, if you have a video editor, most video editors can also do script writing. So for example, if you have a video editor usually can do script writing as well, because scripting for the most part is just done with AI, and they'll tell you they can do it. The problem is they're video editors for a reason, not video editor plus script writer. So the video editing ends up coming out really good, but the scripting is pretty shit, to be honest, because it's not what they're mainly doing, and they're just doing it for you just so they can make more money and you can pay them more. So if you have any type of freelancer or roles like that where it's combining one person to do 2 or multiple tasks, You want to make sure you're getting one specific freelancer per task or a group of them. That way they can do it for you and you're not just having 2-man teams doing 5 different things on a channel. That's also not scalable long term. Second thing you want to look for is something as simple as adding a second editor or a second production team, right? So looking at channel manager, someone that's going to manage the team for you, someone that's even an hiring agent, someone that's going to make job posts, review job posts, vet them, hire them. You're going to give them an SOP, which if you don't know what an SOP is, it's basically a requirements list and a cheat sheet for how you do and how you run certain things in your business. So basically, if you have a certain hiring process, which I do, which I've broken down way in depth, more than I probably should for free on my YouTube channel before, I'd break down my hiring process. I'd write word for word from A to Z of a job post and everything of what I look for, what I message them, what I need them to show me for proof. And for that, I would get an hiring agent. And then from there, they would just do the hiring for me and present me the people that we could potentially hire. So getting an editor is also going to help you make more money and break you past that 10 to 20K a month threshold, because one of the smallest yet biggest changes that I made in my channel early on when I was at this revenue level was simply just outputting more videos, right? Putting 2 to 3 to 4 times more videos. I went from doing every other day to just doing daily. So 15 times a month to 30 videos a month, all long form. And it literally tripled my revenue because now I'm getting more unique viewers. I'm getting returning viewers. I'm posting more content. And on top of that, if you have second channels, collaboration channels, compilation channels, anything like that, you can also transfer your viewership into those and you can have a compilation channel, a movie channel, anything where it's the same type of content. Now you're just putting it on a different channel for another type of audience to watch and you're making so much money. I'm telling you, this is what I did when I was stuck at this 10 to 20K. And luckily, if you're at this 10 to 20K range, it's pretty easy to stuck to. I see most people get stuck under 10K, but 10 to 20 is a pretty easy breakthrough. And then getting past 30 to 40, even 50, now that's the next challenge. You also can look for VAs for operational stuff like uploads, doing the channel warm-ups and tracking, right? This is a real business. This isn't just running a Faceless YouTube channel. If you intend to just make 10 to 20K a month, even 5, 10K, that's totally fine. And that's totally doable long term. But if you're wanting to make anything over 20K, make 50K, 100K, even $1 million a year from this, then you need to make sure that you're operating like a business owner and actually tracking everything, having an operational VA that's doing things for you. And again, we really just want to take you doing the manual things yourself. So like channel research, competitor analysis, seeing what's working, what's happening in the market. Of course, you should always stay up to date with what's happening and understanding your niche in your channel, but having somebody that's a designated VA, which is a virtual assistant, to do that for you and just present to you every single day or week, that is going to be the game changer because you don't have to do it. You pay someone to do it and then they present you the information and you stay up to date. Now, where things really get fun is step 3, which if you're here, congratulations, because not a lot of people have made it here. And so if you're still watching, congratulations. $20,000 to $30,000 a month. This is where shit gets serious because you could either make a huge mistake or you could make a lot of money very fast. So make sure to pay attention here as well. The goal for 20 to 30K a month is stepping back and taking yourself fully out of the channel. And that way we have everything systemized. We have a workflow. We either have AI agents or we have virtual assistants doing the things and reporting to you every single day. And you're just staying in the loop and making sure that you're operating and that you're managing everybody accordingly. At this point, you want to definitely look at hiring a content manager or a channel manager that is reviewing the videos, reviewing the scripts, reviewing everything, because at this point we're going to be starting to look at making multiple channels to get you to that 50K or even $100,000 a month plus. And there's no other way to scale unless you have more time availability on your hands, which is where VAs, channel managers, content managers all come into play because they're going to be the ones doing it for you. And again, that's why SOPs, requirements, cheat sheets, having everything detailed and documented is going to be the game changer in scaling you from 20 to 30 to $50,000 plus a month. Something that I just also hired, I just picked up 2 guys for this. I'm paying them a pretty good amount of money, is an AI professional or someone that's just overall has knowledge with AI. Because the thing with AI that's actually unique that not a lot of people are thinking is traditionally with YouTube channels, if you want to find a full-fledged team, you had to find a scriptwriter, video editor, thumbnail designer, right? You had to find every different position. But if you can find a really, really good freelancer that's cracked with AI, they can essentially do the channel research, the channel upload. They can do everything with AI and utilize it because everyone knows you can make thumbnails with AI. You can make videos with AI. So this is the unique thing that no one's talking about. And I haven't seen anyone in the YouTube space mention this, but if you can find somebody that's cracked with AI, they could do the video editing process. They could do everything for you. And that way you don't have to have individually freelance teams or individual freelancers, like one for script writing, one for video editing, one for thumbnails. You could just have 1 or 2 cracked people with AI, cracked freelancers, and they will do everything head to toe for you. They can set up automations. They can do workflows. They can do everything organized and it's automated for you, which is something that I'm trying to get more into because having people to do a bunch of the work. It does cost you a lot more money. So if you could just set up some automations and workflows with AI, this could potentially change your life and could potentially change your revenue ceiling in your channel. And like I said before, hiring a content manager or operations lead to run the day-to-day, they're essentially the manager and the acting as a mini version of you, right? So if you're the owner of the channel, you're the CEO, they're essentially just right under you, right? Second in command. So everything goes through them, the scripts, they're having people go through it. They're having quality check, quality control. They're making sure that everything is systemized and that not one video is going to look different than the other. Everything should have structure and format at this point. Of course, you want to test video ideas. You want to, experiment. You want to always try new things, not just spam only what's working, but you also want to make sure that there's similarities in whatever your most viral and your outlier viewed videos are. You want to make sure that whatever is the core concept of your channel, what's working with the structure and format, you keep doing that until it literally just doesn't work. Now, you probably have a few channels as well at this point. So you want to make sure that you have fully staffed for each channel and that you get someone strong with AI for research and competitor tracking. This is the biggest thing because I use Claude specifically for AI, and there's Claude Code, there's AI agents, there's Base 44. But again, if you just hire 1 or 2 freelancers that are cracked with AI, you can of course utilize AI and have AI report to you, but you can hire a freelancer that already has done the learning curve and essentially is teaching you and also setting things up like automations or daily check-ins or analyses or analyzing things for you. That's all done with AI. It's literally a cheat code, and the fact that no one's mentioning it is blowing my mind. And if you're sitting there wondering, watching this video, oh, how do I hire? What do I do? What do I look for? Well, I'm actually going to break down the top 2 websites that I use. I know I touched on this a little bit already, but I'm going to go fully in depth on how to hire, what you should look for, what you should avoid, because again, we're here to make money and we're here to do it as fast as possible. So first thing you can do for this example, I'm going to be using the body cam niche, the body cam channels, which a bunch of you know that I run. You can use X, aka Twitter, to find freelancers and find agencies or just people to do stuff for you on your channels. Now, the downside I'll say with Twitter is when you make job posts, you have to be very specific, because if you put video editor, you'll probably get something like this guy who seems to be a little bit all over the place. Actually, it looks like he does police body cam, but it's very random and it's not professional work and long-term work that you want to actually go with. So you can see like right here, someone made a police body cam documentary post. You can see we have some portfolios and people right here. But ideally what you want to do is you just either want to look up whatever niche, whatever channel you're running for, whether it's video editing, script writing, and you can see there's a bunch of people like this is a Roblox edit. So DM me Roblox editor. This is actually somebody that I follow. And you can see that they post their portfolio or recent videos that they've done for their clients. Now, one thing I'll say, and I need you to write down if you're paying attention and you're actually taking notes, is if you're going to use X, aka Twitter, to hire, it's not really for specific hires. For example, like body cam video editors, if I'm looking for somebody to get the body cam footage for me, it's not really for that. It's usually for broad or very popular niches and channels, such as Roblox, gaming. Anything that's super popular is going to be where you can find that. That is why we still have the best option, in my opinion, especially if you don't want to spend any money, and that is Upwork, because it's totally free. We have broad ranges of niches. We could do body cam, we could do Roblox gaming, we could do reactions, we could do any type of channel on Upwork and also online jobs. But like I mentioned before, you have to pay $50 to $60, so might as well go to Upwork initially because it just saves you money. So go to Upwork, make a few jobs. You can see I have a bunch of different jobs here, and depending on what you want to look for, you can utilize AI to make the job descriptions and everything for you. And obviously just do research on the niche and almost just title it like a YouTube video, right? You want to make sure the job post is something intriguing and something that would make freelancers want to click it, right? That's probably why I have such a good team, because Upwork and just making job posts is basically like a YouTube video. You have to make it seem entertaining. You have to make it seem interesting, make it seem that they want to work for you. Obviously have a really good experience when they work for you. And my steps to training a team is pretty simple. You want to document your entire process, right? So whether it's scripting, ideation, packaging, whatever the position is, you want to make an SOP document, and you need to tell them to follow that document and the procedure precisely. So for example, if I'm running a body cam channel and I have the scripting a certain way where every intro we give context and we give evidence, or if we have the scripting / intro where it shows the footage and it shows the craziest moment and really like the climax, the best point, most interesting part of the footage in the intro, well then we need to document that. That way every single time, even though the cases and the footage is different every video, we have the structure and we have the format every single time that is the exact same in the video, which is actually what I was saying earlier. Same thing for ideation. If you have a certain way that you're finding video ideas, most people just have like competitor research, but some people are utilizing AI now and have like workflows where based off what you're uploading or based off what your competitor channels are uploading, it can predict your next video that you should do based off the likes, the comments, what people are saying, the feedback that YouTube is receiving from your videos. It can predict your next idea that you should use. And that's when ideation would come in, because you're just documenting your whole process. The idea of an SOP and the idea of documenting your whole process to train your team should be that if someone didn't know YouTube or didn't know how to do the job, whether it's scripting, thumbnails, editing, they should be able to just read your document and follow it one by one and be able to get the same output that you're looking for. Now, obviously with editing, that's a skill, but for scripting, it's like, okay, well, just describe what happened, go into detail, refer to this, refer to that. You want to have everything broken down from starting with nothing, to Z, to having the full finished product and everything in between that actually helps them get to that. And by the way, guys, if you want me to help you one-on-one with scaling your own Faceless YouTube channel, just like I did for many of my students here, Jordi joined a little over a month ago and he's already at $11,300 just in a month. Joseph, who also made $13,000 a month, is scaling one of his channels like crazy. And there are many others, as you can see. And I know I've already told you about her, but one of my top students, whose name is Priti, her best month ever with Faceless YouTube automation was $46,000 in a single month of posting videos. And if I told you the niche and showed you the channel that she was doing, you wouldn't believe me. Yes, it's that dumb, but the process, once you have everything structured, is that simple. So if you want potentially similar results to what you're seeing here and want me to personally hold hand you through your process of scaling your channel, then you can click the link in the description and apply below. So that was the exact process that I used to not only train, but hire my team members and freelancers. Now you guys can copy it and you can use it on your own to scale like crazy. But if you want me personally to one-on-one help you, just like I did with any of my other students, and actually get a deeper dive into your channel specifics, then click the link in the description and make sure to fill out the form. And also make sure to watch this interview here that I did with my student who made $11,300 in the first 30 days of joining. Shout out to Jordi. Watch this video and peace out.